You want to talk about Tulane?
Yeah, let's touch on it.
We were on the sideline for the Tulane game last weekend. It was amazing. It was a great time. Shout out to that whole staff just for helping us along, being able to talk to players, being in the post-game press conference, all that stuff. It was amazing. One of the coolest experiences I've ever had.
For sure.
But in that game, Michael Pratt broke a record. You got Willie Fritz, who's now won 200 games as a college football coach. Some people say it's a little more. Some people say it's a little less. There's a little question about it. I can guarantee it's at least 200.
Right.
Yeah, I mean, give me your thoughts. Where's your head at after that?
It was nice to see, like, Pratt back and playing, and, you know, like, that game specifically, like, I don't have too many thoughts about that one game, but just overall, like, to touch on how the season's going, like, it feels like we came into the year saying it was going to be ground and pound. It feels like they're opening it up.
Yeah.
Like, I don't think I've talked about this multiple times, like, in things I've written, but I don't think they need to. Like, I think they have a couple guys they could go to if they wanted to be that run-first team, but it feels like they got weapons at receiver, and they're using them.
They are.
It's fun to watch, and, you know, we both kind of, I don't know if it was just Nichols' D-line or if Tulane's offensive line is an issue. It didn't seem like it was an issue the first 3 weeks, really.
Yeah.
So maybe Nichols' D-line just came to play. And
nobody told them it was supposed to be a squash game.
Right.
Like, that D-line was ready.
That was like my one concern I had, and I put that in this recent article I wrote, like, of the concerns I have, like, protecting the quarterback, like, if you can, if there's anything that I was worried about after that game, that was number one. But overall, I don't think I'm too worried about it because, like I said, that was an outlier, I thought, in the first 4 weeks. And then, like, I want to, like, I love that they're opening it up for Pratt and letting them throw, but I want to see them run the ball, like, with the guys they got. They have talent back there.
Yeah.
And when they feed, like, Mackay or feed Clayton Lewis, like, they look good.
Yeah. No, I agree. I think they definitely should commit to the run a little bit more. It's been interesting that they haven't. Maybe it's just been the game plan with Pratt being the guy. I mean, Pratt's good enough, obviously, to run that style of offense and really open it up. You have the weapons, like you said. I mean, Jaquan Jackson has looked amazing. I don't think anyone expected him to look the way he has coming into the season, just based on the last few years. He was more of like a shot play guy, or just, you know. Now he's really turned a corner. It seems like you just get him the ball in space and just let him go.
There's a few, like Lawrence Keys is playing really well, and then Brazel is like the surprise at the position for me because like we didn't know who he was coming into the season, but when he steps on the field, like you can't miss him. And not even, let me tell y'all, when he was running through the like little tunnel area through the concourse, you knew who he was. I've never seen the guy in my life, but when this big 6'5" giant just walked by me, I was like, hey, that's who that is.
He is every bit of 6'5". I mean, I'm 6'3", and this dude walked past me, and I was like, dang, all right, that's a big boy. Like,
and true freshman, like, he's one to watch for going forward.
Definitely excited about his game moving forward. But going back to the run game, one thing I've noticed this year, and I don't know if it's because they are a little worried about Pratt and protecting Pratt, even though he's going to run and he's going to play his game anyway, not a lot of like RPOs at all.
Yeah.
And they used to do that a lot. They used to do a ton of that. And that was a lot of the run game. And like this year it's not as heavy. So maybe you see that moving forward, especially conference plays coming up. They'll probably add a few wrinkles. Mm-hmm. You know, this weekend they got UAB, which you wouldn't expect to be a huge test, but it's still conference play. So, you know, it's a big game.
Like I said, they have the guys. Like I've said it a bunch of times. I think Mackay is good enough to just give him the ball. Like he's built to handle a workload. Mm-hmm. Like he's more built to handle Tajay's workload than Tajay was. Yeah. Right? So he's not as dynamic as Tajay was, but he'll ground and pound.
You don't know. I mean, he's still got a few years to grow into that. Yeah. Like who knows?
But I mean, he's not as shifty as, like, that's just a fact. Like he is definitely built to just be. He's like a Mark Ingram type, where he's just gonna hammer it out, and I'll get you the yards you need, right? But he has like those exciting runs where he should go down, he sheds 3 guys off, and it's like, all right, let's roll. I mean, the big thing with Tulane is similar to the Saints. The defense is legit. We had worries not worries, but you lost like your best players on defense and or your leaders on defense, and there was questions about who's going to step up, and then you lose Corey, and you from there you're like, who's going to step up to fill his role, and it like there's still
Grubbs,
that defensive line is something serious. Like you pointed out multiple times, they're stopping the run with ease, and then you got two potentially like all conference corners out there just shutting everything down.
Yeah, for sure. I mean, you said it. You know the names of the linebackers they have?
No, that's probably like the one position group that I don't think I know.
Yeah, so I was going to shout out Tyler Grubbs, who's the one who stepped in for Corey Platt, and then Jesus Machado, who had did he have 2 interceptions last week?
He had at least one.
Yeah, he had at least one. They've been playing their butt off, man. Grubbs is the one that's really surprised me. Machado, I expected to play well. Nick Anderson's been hyping them up all off season.
Yeah.
Like he's been all in on them guys. Which, speaking of Nick Anderson, just kind of changing gears here a little bit, get into another subject. Obviously, they have a podcast with the No, so if you hasn't seen them, check them out. Talking that, yeah. But a couple days ago on his Twitter, he just randomly out of nowhere picks a fight with LSU and then just steps away and just lets chaos ensue. Probably one of my favorite things I've ever seen happen.
Yeah. If I didn't already love the guy before that, yeah, I'm always for that.
Just casually steps away. Do you think, and I don't want to go off the deep end here, we don't have to get into this. I think we've joked about it in the past. Last year we were saying we wanted LSU. Nick Anderson was very candid saying, listen, I wanted LSU last year, and then they had to go lose to Florida State to mess it all up. Do you think Tulane would stand a chance? I think it's a good game, but
yeah.
Oh,
yeah. Absolutely, I do.
Because LSU fans seem to think that it would be a squash, like a total wash.
Of course they do. All you have to do is look back at the Cotton Bowl.
Yeah.
Like, I don't care. Like, USC was better than LSU was.
Yeah.
Right? And we, like, sure, say what you want about Jaden Daniels, good or bad. He ain't Caleb Williams.
Sure ain't.
You know what I mean? And LSU's got some good receivers. USC has 2 that are just balling right now. And I mean, LSU's might actually be better stat wise. But anyway, like they already beat a team that was better.
Yeah.
Granted, this is a different team, right?
Yeah.
But like, would LSU win? Maybe. It wouldn't surprise me if it would surprise me if it was a squash game.
Yeah.
I think that's the only outcome that would surprise me.
Yeah.
Tulane winning wouldn't surprise me. Like, I don't think Tulane blows LSU out in any fashion.
No.
Right? Like, but I think Tulane would make it dirty and like make it tough for them.
Oh, it's gonna be grimy.
Oh,
it's
absolutely.
gonna be a grimy game.
Yeah. And I don't. When you have a defense that good and you have a quarterback, you can play with anybody. Like the Tulane played. Let's see, the biggest or the other opponent would be like Kansas State last year.
Yeah.
Right, and they shut that down.
Yeah, they shut Kansas State's offense down.
Yeah. Like, and Deuce Vaughn was one of the best running backs in college football, and it was like he didn't do anything.
No.
So like every time they've had a chance to prove they can play with somebody, they've done it.
Well, and Tulane's defense this year has proven again that their defense can stop the run. I mean, they're giving up under 2 yards a carry.
Well, even Ole Miss, like
that's what I'm saying.
That Ole Miss score is not indicative of what Tulane did that game.
No.
It was one turnover at the end that kind of gave Ole Miss a chance to go up by whatever they went up by.
Yeah, Tulane was down.
That game was close until the end. Like,
with a backup quarterback.
Yeah. Recent history, like Tulane has shown they can hang outside of the weird hurricane year. Even when they played Oklahoma like
that year.
Yeah, they've shown we could hang with anybody.
Yeah.
So they step up when it's a big opponent, and then this year, like they're beating the teams they're supposed to beat.
Yeah.
Like, they didn't slip up against Ole Miss. They didn't slip up against, like, Nichols is Nichols, but like those games can sneak up on you.
Yeah.
Right? And good teams beat the teams they're supposed to beat. And
yeah, I mean, last year they lose to Southern Miss, which they had no business losing to.
Yeah.
It's a tough loss. And they didn't do that this year.
Yeah.
It wasn't even a question.
And like, this isn't it's not a knock on LSU to say Tulane can hang with them.
Right.
LSU fans are going to look at it like that.
Yeah, they're gonna look at it as you're a homer. Like,
They're also looking at it as like from like the times when LSU and Tulane used to play every year,
yeah,
right? Like that's what's in the back of your head. Like the LSU fans are not watching Tulane. Like
No,
they're just not. There's
not at all.
I don't want to say that. There are some, right? That like both. But the ones that we're talking about, they're not watching Tulane. They think of Tulane as Tulane. Like they think of Tulane the same way they think of UL, and like they need more respect. It's that
more
simple.
respect. We don't get enough respect around here.
We don't.
Put some respect on Tulane's
I would love
name.
to see it. Like I pray for that game, like that bowl game. I really do. And
Yeah.
I want whatever the outcome is. Like I want to see it. That if Tulane gets blown out, they get blown out. But I want to see it.
Hell yeah.